My child, take a deep breath, because what is coming to you right now is not random, not accidental, not something that happened by chance. God says this is an urgent message for you, a message wrapped in truth, wrapped in divine timing, wrapped in the energy of something that has been waiting for the right moment. That moment is this one. And God says very clearly that if you skip this message now, you will miss the blessing that is already traveling toward your name. This moment is the doorway. This moment is the turning point. This moment is where heaven leans close to you and whispers the words that can shift your entire path. God says you are going to hear good news very soon. And it is because of your last decision, the last action you took, the last moment where you chose faith over fear even though you felt tired, confused, and unsure. You made a choice recently that heaven witnessed. You made a choice that aligned you with something bigger than yourself, and even though you didn't realize it at the time, that one moment triggered a chain reaction in the spiritual realm. You planted a seed that did not die. You spoke something that reached God before it reached anyone else. You took a step that heaven honored. And now, God says your reward is coming toward you faster than you expect. There are people around you who think nothing is changing. There are people who believe your life is stuck in place. There are people who don't see your growth, your quiet strength, your silent battles, your secret prayers. But God saw everything. God was there when you cried in silence. God was there when you felt like giving up but didn't. God was there when you held on even though you could barely breathe emotionally. God was there when you decided to move forward instead of collapsing into the weight of everything you were carrying. Heaven counted every tear, every moment of patience, every act of kindness that you gave without expecting anything in return. God says the good news that is coming is connected to something you thought was finished. Something you thought would never turn in your favor. Something that felt delayed, stuck, or forgotten. But heaven was never late. Heaven was waiting for this exact alignment. God says your life is about to shift gently but powerfully, like a door that was stuck for years suddenly opening with a rush of fresh air. You will understand why things took so long. You will understand why you had to wait. You will understand why certain people walked away. You will understand why you had to be separated from certain things so you could be placed in the right position for what is coming. The spiritual realm has been moving pieces behind the scenes for you, even when you doubted it. Even when you felt abandoned. Even when you questioned your worth. Even when you wondered why things seemed to break around you instead of building. God says the breaking was necessary because what you were praying for couldn't fit into the old version of your life. You asked for something bigger, something higher, something purer. And when you ask for something of heaven, heaven removes everything that does not match it. The removal felt painful, but the blessing will feel peaceful. The release felt sudden, but the reward will feel purposeful. God says that your heart has been tested, your patience has been stretched, and your faith has been pulled into places that made you stronger than you ever realized. The next chapter of your life will not require suffering. It will require receiving. And God says you must prepare yourself to receive what you once believed was out of reach. Your spirit has been trained for this. Your mind has been shaped for this. Your soul has been aligned for this. There is a good news coming that will feel like a soft miracle, something that arrives quietly but transforms everything loudly inside you. It will be a message, a confirmation, an opportunity, a call, or a sign that makes your heart feel warm again. It will remind you that God never forgot you. God never abandoned you. God never turned away from your pain. Everything was being rearranged for the blessing to land exactly where it needs to, in your hands. God says the reason this good news is coming is because of something you did with pure intention. You helped someone. You forgave someone you didn't have to forgive. You loved someone who didn't know how to love you back. You gave something even when you were in need. You prayed for someone who never prayed for you. You chose honesty when others chose shortcuts. You chose patience when others chose pressure. You chose kindness when others chose cruelty. And heaven recorded it all, your last act of goodness, your last act of faith, your last moment of self-control, your last moment of trusting God even when everything felt uncertain. That is what opened this doorway. And God says now that the door is open, nothing will stop what is meant for you. Not your fears. Not your doubts. Not your past. Not the people who tried to bring you down. Not the people who secretly wished to see you fail. God says where you are going, their opinions cannot follow. Their words cannot touch. Their energy cannot interfere. God says you are safe. Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are protected. You are covered. You are surrounded by angels who walk with you even when you feel alone. Archangel Michael stands to your right, guarding your path and breaking every unseen obstacle that tries to slow you down. Divine forces are clearing your road, removing the wrong people, lifting the weight off your shoulders, and creating space for you to breathe again. God says you must trust Him now more than ever. You must not let fear enter your heart. You must not doubt that something good can happen for you. You must not allow the enemy to convince you that your life will stay the same. You are stepping into a season where your prayers begin to move faster toward manifestation. You are stepping into a timeline where sudden blessings appear without warning. You are stepping into days where you will say, "I didn't expect this, but God made it happen." The divine timing is not coming. It is here. The shift is not on its way. It has already begun. The miracle is not forming. It is unfolding. And God says if you skip this moment, you disconnect from the energy that is being delivered to you. The blessing needs your awareness. Your spirit needs to be open to receive. Your heart must say yes to what heaven is giving. There is something you have been waiting on for a long time, something you thought was impossible, something you stopped praying about because you felt discouraged. God says pick it back up in your heart, because the good news is tied to that desire. Something is being restored. Something is being returned. Something is being repaired. Something is being revealed. Something is being given back to you in a better form than the one you lost. You must understand that when God gives, He gives at the perfect moment. He gives when your heart is ready to handle the blessing without fear or sabotage. He gives when your spirit is strong enough to stay grounded. He gives when the wrong people are no longer around to take advantage of your goodness. And God says now, this season, this chapter is the time when you are ready to receive stability. You are ready to receive peace. You are ready to receive growth. You are ready to receive the kind of love that honors your heart instead of hurting it. You are ready to receive opportunities that lift you instead of draining you. You are ready to receive clarity that calms your mind instead of confusing it. You are ready to receive blessings that match the level of faith you've been pouring out into the world. God says that everything you lost will be returned in divine form. Everything that broke you will be replaced with something that builds you. Everything that hurt you will transform into something that heals you. Everything that ended will be replaced with something that begins beautifully. The suffering was not your destiny. The heaviness was not your identity. It was preparation, and now the preparation is complete. Heaven has chosen this moment to move in your life. Your next days will carry signs, synchronicities, whispers from God, and moments that confirm everything you are reading right now. God says again, do not skip this. Do not ignore this. Do not turn away from this message. You were meant to receive it. You were meant to feel it. You were meant to awaken to it. This is your divine nudge, your spiritual reminder, your urgent warning wrapped in love. The blessing is coming and nothing can stop it. You just have to trust God, pray to Him, stay aligned, and allow your spirit to stay open. You are safe. You are guided. You are blessed. And the good news that is coming will prove that God always keeps His word. God says this is the moment you have been waiting for, the moment that was written long before you were born, the moment that heaven has whispered about for months, the moment that angels have been preparing quietly behind the scenes, and the moment that only you were chosen to receive. God says, my child, listen very carefully. You are going to hear good news, and it will not be a normal kind of good news. It will come because of your last act of faith, your last prayer, your last tear, your last moment when you chose to believe when everything around you looked empty. You think nothing happened in that moment, but heaven moved. And now something is unfolding. But if you skip this message, if you walk away even for a second, the blessing that was supposed to land directly in your hands might slip past you. I order you to open this quickly. This is not a joke. This is not something ordinary. This is divine communication. God says you have been carrying weight that no one sees. You have been trying to be strong even when your strength burned out long ago. You smiled when your soul was tired, you walked when your heart wanted to collapse, and you believed even when your circumstances tried to convince you not to. Heaven watched you stand firm when almost anyone else would have broken. Heaven watched you say, "God, I trust you," at a time when trust was the hardest thing to hold. That is why this good news is coming. That is why the shift has begun. That is why the angels are positioned around you right now, holding things steady, adjusting what needs to be adjusted, and preparing what you need to receive. God says, you are safe. You are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you. I am with you in ways you don't even realize. You just have to trust me and pray to me. I have kept you alive because your story is not finished. I have kept you strong because you are meant to rise above everything that tried to silence you. You think the delay was punishment, but heaven says the delay was preparation. You think nothing changed, but heaven says everything changed the moment you didn't give up. Now the wind is shifting, and what was stuck is moving. Something is approaching you faster than you think. God says the good news coming your way is connected to your last act of faith, the moment you almost ignored, the moment you thought was too small to matter, the moment you offered to heaven with sincerity even though you were uncertain if it would count. But heaven counted it. Heaven sealed it. Heaven attached a miracle to it. And now that miracle is ready to be released. But God says, you must not skip this. If you skip it, if you turn away, if you ignore the divine nudge, the blessing will be delayed again. Open this fully, absorb this fully, because I am talking directly to you. You have been attacked emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and even by the actions of people who pretended to care. You do not even know how many traps were set around you, how many words were spoken against you, how many plans were arranged to break your spirit. But every time, God blocked it. Every time someone tried to sabotage your progress, heaven rewrote the ending. Every time someone tried to remove something from your life, heaven returned something better. You survived what others would not have survived. You stood where others would have collapsed. You rose where others would have quit. And that is why your blessing is coming so loudly that even your enemies will not be able to deny it. God says people misunderstood you because they could not see your purpose. They judged you because they could not see your destiny. They disrespected you because they did not know who walks with you. But the good news coming your way will silence the mouths that spoke against you. It will break chains you didn't realize were still wrapped around your life. It will open doors you have been trying to access for years. God says, your name is about to be mentioned in rooms you don't know exist yet. Your image is being lifted by my hand. Your life is being rewritten by my authority. The angels say you have been in a season of waiting, but the waiting was not empty. It was sacred. It was building. It was preparing. It was cleansing your surroundings from people who could not go with you to the next stage. God removed people you loved not to hurt you, but to protect you. God shut doors not to punish you, but to redirect you. God delayed things not because you were unworthy, but because He needed the timing to align with your destiny. Heaven is telling you now, the timing is aligned. The path has cleared. The blessing will be delivered. God says your last action, the last thing you did with genuine faith, created a spiritual earthquake. It shook things that were stuck. It awakened blessings that were asleep. It forced heaven to act on your behalf. That is why you will soon hear news that feels impossible, sudden, and overwhelming. It will not be luck. It will not be coincidence. It will be divine. God says, I saw you at your lowest. I saw you when you felt weak. I saw you when you whispered prayers in the dark because you didn't want anyone to see your tears. But every tear was collected. Every prayer was registered. Every moment of courage was counted. I am the God who sees everything you do even when no one else notices. And I am the God who rewards in public what you did in private. You will hear something soon, something that will change the direction of your life. It may come as a phone call, a message, an opportunity, an unexpected conversation, or a sudden shift. Heaven is already arranging the path. But God warns gently. If you skip this message, if you brush this moment aside, if you disconnect from this divine flow, you may miss the alignment. Stay here. Stay open. Stay receptive. You have suffered enough. You have cried enough. You have carried enough. You have proven yourself enough. Heaven says this is your time of release. This is your time of recovery. This is your time of reward. You no longer have to wonder if good things are coming. They are already on their way. They are already in motion. You just need to remain connected to God. God says, your protection is guaranteed. Nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will harm you. Nothing will be taken from you anymore. You are under my shield, and I am sending angels to stand at every corner of your life. You will not walk into danger. You will not be defeated. You will not be broken again. You just have to trust me and pray to me. Do not give in to fear. Fear is the last trick of the enemy. You are safe. Heaven says the good news coming your way will feel like justice. It will feel like healing. It will feel like restoration. It will feel like the weight that lived on your chest for years is suddenly lifted. You will breathe differently. You will walk differently. You will think differently. You will feel lighter, freer, more aligned with your purpose. God says, your story is changing because I have touched the page. Your path is opening because I have spoken the command. Your blessing is coming because I have decided it is your time. Now listen carefully. Heaven is telling you that the next few days hold spiritual significance. Something is aligning. Something is moving. Something is preparing to reveal itself. But you must not disconnect from the message. God says, stay open. Stay aware. Stay spiritually awake. This good news will arrive suddenly, and the moment it arrives, you will know it came from God. It will carry peace, clarity, and unexpected relief. It may even bring a financial breakthrough, a healing, a reconciliation, a revelation, or a life-changing opportunity. But it will come. Heaven has already released it. God says, you are safe. I will not allow anything to harm you. Nothing will go wrong with you. Trust me. Pray to me. Walk with me. Your life is entering a divine shift. Your story is entering a divine rewrite. Your heart is entering a divine restoration. And this message is the sign. If you had skipped it, you would have missed it. But you didn't, and because you opened it. The blessing is now sealed. God is with you. Always, my beloved, breathe for a moment and allow this message to reach the deepest part of your spirit, because what is coming toward you is not ordinary. This is being delivered to you with urgency, with divine intention, with a sacred push from heaven that refuses to let you walk past what God has prepared for you. You are not reading this by accident. You are not here by coincidence. There is a divine arrangement unfolding around you, and God is saying that the good news that is about to enter your life is not random. It is because of the last step you took, the last prayer you whispered, the last act of faith you made when no one saw. No one understood, and no one believed you would make it through. God says, my child, open this quickly, for if you skip this moment, you will miss what I have already released in your name. There is something sacred, something powerful, something life-shifting that has already left heaven and is on its way toward you. And because it is so close, because the spiritual atmosphere around you is shifting so rapidly, Archangel Michael stands beside you with an urgent warning to not look away, not delay, not scroll past this moment of divine intervention. You are going to hear good news. Not just a message, not just information, but a breakthrough that pushes you forward, protects you, and elevates you. And God says it is happening because of your last action. That moment where you decided to keep going. That second when you chose endurance instead of surrender. That breath you took after crying. That silent prayer you didn't even think God heard. That quiet decision to stay kind when you were breaking. That tiny seed of trust you planted when the world around you gave you every reason to give up. Heaven recorded it. Heaven honored it. Heaven multiplied it. And now the result of that last act is returning to you as good news, unexpected blessings, and divine protection. God wants you to know that nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing. The situation that scared you, the pressure you felt, the fear that tried to settle in your chest, none of it can destroy you. You are divinely shielded. You are spiritually guarded. You are wrapped in a protection that no human hand can remove and no dark force can break. God has set a boundary around your path that prevents any hidden danger, any unseen enemy, any silent storm from touching your destiny. Take a deep breath. You are safe. God is asking you to trust Him with a new kind of trust, not the trust that comes from your mind but the trust that rises from your spirit. You are safe. God is with you. Nothing around you is as threatening as it seems. Some things have been allowed only to reveal who you are becoming. Some things have been permitted only to expose the strength hidden inside you. Some things have appeared to shake you, but they ended up shaping you into someone unstoppable. Tonight, today, this moment, the shift begins. God is sending a message to your heart saying, I have seen your effort. I have seen your hidden pain. I have seen your fear, your confusion, your exhaustion. And I have not forgotten you. You are going to hear good news, and it will arrive in a way you did not expect. Someone will mention something. Something will suddenly open. A call, a message, an opportunity, a release. Something with your name on it will reveal itself because your last act of faith triggered a spiritual movement you didn't even know was possible. You may have thought you were alone through everything, but heaven was watching you. Archangel Michael was guarding you. Your angels were silently lifting you when you felt like collapsing. God was carrying you even when you didn't feel His hands. You have been walking through a storm but not without divine covering. God is asking you now to stop doubting yourself. Stop thinking you are unlucky. Stop assuming you are forgotten. Stop imagining that you are blocked or delayed. The truth is that everything you've gone through was leading you to this divine moment. There was something God needed to build inside you before He released what belongs to you. There was something God needed to remove from your life before He gave you what you prayed for. There was someone God needed to distance you from before He brought you into alignment with your blessing. The good news that is coming is not only about what you will receive, it is about what God is restoring, what God is clearing, what God is protecting, and what God is positioning. Your last act. Your last prayer. Your last hardship. Your last step of faith. Your last moment of strength. That is why heaven is opening now. You didn't know that your small action carried such a big spiritual weight, but heaven knew. And because heaven knew, heaven responded. God says, what is coming to you is not delayed anymore. It is already moving. It is already sent. It is already written in your future. Nothing will stop it. Nothing will block it. Nothing will steal it. This is why you are being urged to open this quickly, because your spirit needs to be prepared for what is approaching your life. God wants you calm, not fearful. Awake, not confused. Trusting, not doubting. Ready, not hesitant. The blessing is not coming to someone else. The miracle is not going to another home. The breakthrough is not skipping you. It is coming directly to you. God has assigned this moment to sharpen your awareness so that when the door opens, you walk through it confidently. When the message comes, you receive it fully. When the news reaches you, you will recognize that it was heaven's response to your last step. You are safe. You are protected. You are covered. No harm is coming to you. No mistake can ruin what God has prepared. No enemy has enough power to interfere. No misfortune can touch your destiny. God is standing in front of you. Archangel Michael is standing behind you. Your angels are standing around you. The message from heaven continues, "My child, I am clearing the path in front of you. I am removing every silent danger. I am dissolving every hidden trap. I am closing the mouth of every false voice that spoke against you. I am healing you from what you did not talk about. I am restoring you from what tried to destroy you silently. You have been strong even when you didn't want to be. You have carried pain that others never thanked you for. You have walked through battles that almost broke you. You have survived moments that you never thought you would come out of. And now God says that good news is your reward for continuing to stand. Your spirit is about to breathe in relief. The pressure you feel right now is not a warning. It is a sign that your blessing is pressing into your reality. You are not breaking, you are birthing. You are not failing, you are transitioning. You are not losing, you are leveling up. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. God is promising you that nothing will go wrong. Even what looks wrong right now is secretly working in your favor. Even what feels delayed is secretly aligning something greater. Even what hurt you is secretly preparing you. Even what confused you is secretly directing you to the truth. You will soon understand why everything happened the way it did. You will soon see the purpose behind the pain, the reason behind the silence, the meaning behind the delay, the blessing behind the disappointment. God says, "My child, trust me now. I am closer than your breath. I am guiding you even when you don't feel me. I am protecting you even when you don't see me. I am working for you even when you think nothing is moving. What is coming will make sense of everything. What is coming will lift the weight off your soul. What is coming will surprise the people who doubted you. What is coming will make your spirit rise again. What is coming will heal wounds you forgot you had. What is coming will remind you that God has been with you every step, every moment, every breath. So do not fear. Do not worry. Do not expect danger. Expect a breakthrough. Expect good news. Expect a shift. Expect protection. Expect something miraculous. Expect God to move. Your last act of faith triggered a heavenly release. Now, open your heart to what is coming. God is with you. You are safe. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will go wrong with you. My beloved child, listen closely, because Archangel Michael is speaking with a trembling urgency in his voice. And heaven is surrounding you in this moment. God says, you are going to hear some good news, all because of your last act of faith, your last quiet prayer, your last moment of choosing light even when darkness tried to swallow you. But God also says that if you skip this moment, if you ignore this message like you ignored many signs before, you will miss something that heaven has already placed on your path. Archangel Michael is ordering you to open this quickly, to not delay, because this moment carries a shift, a movement, a divine turning that your soul has been asking for silently. And God is whispering to you with the calmest, warmest voice, nothing will go wrong with you, you are safe. You are protected. But you must trust God and pray to Him as this message unfolds around your spirit. There is a deep spiritual reason why this message is reaching you now. Heaven has been watching your heart closely, watching how you pushed yourself through moments that would have broken others. You held yourself together when everything felt like it was falling apart. You stood in the middle of storms that were never meant for someone with your gentle heart. You felt abandoned at times, even while angels were standing behind you, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. This message arrives because that moment is now. The timing has finally aligned, and Archangel Michael is stepping forward with a divine urgency that he rarely uses unless something important is unfolding. Archangel Michael says that the good news coming toward you is not small. It is not something that will pass quickly or fade away. It is something that has been prepared for you for months, something delayed, something blocked by people, energies, or situations that never wanted to see you rise. But heaven has cleared the way. What was hidden is becoming visible. What was stuck is moving. What was denied is returning to you in a greater form. And Michael says that your last action, something you did recently, even if you felt it was insignificant, sent a signal to the spiritual realm that you are ready to receive what was always meant to be yours. But Michael is also warning you, do not skip this moment. Do not turn away. Do not treat this message like just another set of words on a screen. He says that heaven has witnessed how many times you were supposed to receive blessings, but your fear, doubt, or exhaustion caused you to miss them. Not because you were unworthy, not because God wanted you to suffer, but because your heart was too overwhelmed to open the door. This time, Michael is standing at the doorway of your spirit, holding it wide open with both hands, not allowing it to close again. He is begging you to listen, just for 2 seconds, to not scroll away, to not let this moment pass. God is saying that this message is your reminder that everything is turning, everything is shifting. Everything is aligning, and you are standing in front of something life-changing. God wants you to know that the good news coming to you is connected to something you prayed about long ago. You thought heaven forgot. You thought the angels were silent. You thought your prayer was too small or too impossible. But nothing was forgotten. Every whispered prayer, every quiet tear, every moment you hoped even when hope seemed unrealistic, heaven stored all of it. God says your tears watered the soil of the blessings that are now rising. Your patience earned the breakthrough. Your endurance placed you in the path of divine timing. You didn't realize it, but every step you took during your hardest days was pushing you closer to this moment. Michael says he has been fighting for you in the spiritual realm, fighting battles you never saw, battles that would have shaken you if you knew how intense they were. He says enemies, spiritual, emotional, human, tried to block your steps, not because you were weak, but because you carry something powerful, something rare, something blessed. Michael protected you from situations that could have taken away your peace, your safety, or your spirit. He shielded you from betrayals that you sensed but couldn't fully understand. He deflected negative intentions, harmful words, and silent envy from people who pretended to care about you. And now he says that the good news that is coming is also your proof that all the battles he fought for you were worth it. God wants you to know that the reason Michael is speaking so urgently, the reason he is ordering you to open this message quickly, is because the blessing coming to you needs your readiness. It needs your belief. It needs your willingness to receive it. God says you are safe, but safety does not mean silence. Safety means guidance, protection, and movement. Safety means stepping into something new without fear. Safety means trusting that even if you don't understand everything, God understands everything for you. There is something that heaven has been preparing to release into your life: news, opportunity, connection, support, a financial shift, a relationship breakthrough, or a moment of clarity that changes your direction. You will know exactly what it is the moment it reaches you. Something in your heart will say, "This is what I was waiting for." Something inside your spirit will settle, will soften, will recognize the divine signature on your blessing. Michael is showing a vision, a closed door finally unlocking. A path that was blocked suddenly clearing. A voice that was silent finally speaking. Something you thought was lost is returning. Something you believed was over is reviving. Something you feared would never come is showing up at your doorstep, literally or spiritually. And he says this good news is not random. It is the reward for your last act of patience, your last act of kindness, your last act of faith. Heaven watched the moment you almost gave up, but continued anyway. Heaven noticed. Heaven responded. Heaven is delivering, but Michael is also warning you again: do not skip this moment. Do not think that this is coincidence. Do not ignore the divine timing. Do not underestimate the spiritual weight of this message. God wants you to sit with this, breathe with it, let it move into your spirit. God says that you have been surviving for too long, and now it is time for you to live, to rise, to receive. God also says that nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected. You are surrounded by angels, even when you feel physically alone. You are guided by a divine force that knows your beginning, your middle, and your ending. You are watched over day and night. You may feel fear, but heaven sees your strength. You may feel uncertain, but heaven sees your faith. You may feel tired, but heaven sees your endurance. God is reminding you that He has carried you through every dark moment, and He is not going to let anything harm you now, especially when you are so close to receiving the very thing your soul has been waiting for.